Hey, my name is Clarissa. If you've been following my channel, then you know a little bit of my back history. If not, no big deal. We're talking about something totally different these days. So, we're going to talk specifically about concentrates and how it pertains to me as far as my mental and physical health is concerned. So, I'm 31 years old. I have a 19-month-old son, so he's about a year and a half, and married, and I am also a stepmother to a preteen. So life is a little complicated. I have physical problems. I have neuropathy, which is nerve pain. It stems from the lower back, and I also have a injury to my left shoulder that is from at least 5+ years. It's been a while, but I still have tissue damage that from time to time does irritate. I also deal with anxiety, insomnia, and some mild depression. So, postpartum anxiety, if you've heard of that, I'm definitely living it too. And if you have never heard of it, it exists. A lot of women have it. So, my biggest issue at the end of the day is my neuropathy, and my back pain is pretty bad. I can have shooting pains throughout my nerves from time to time. It's not always every day, but some days it's more than others. It really depends. So, today I want to talk about concentrates. Concentrates are, for me, THC and CBD forms of medicine. Now, I look at all this stuff as medicine. Yes, you can indulge more and have high psychoactive effects and definitely enjoy your time. I know I do from time to time, but on a day-to-day basis, I microdose. So I have a little bit here, a little bit there. Today it is, let's see, 2:30, and I still have not had anything but one drag, which that's not much of anything. And that was just now because I had to redo this. So, anyway, concentrates. I use CBD. Some people believe that CBD only works for them. Perfectly fine. Some people, a combination of CBD and THC works for them, and that's fine, which is where I land. And then other people believe that just THC works for them. So I'm in the middle. I need some CBD and THC. Um, Without CBD, I can manage, but it's easiest when I have a little bit of CBD and definitely THC. So, because I have built a tolerance to it, since we all have an endocannabinoid system, we as human beings all have it, and so do our furry friends. Um, I I have a CBD e-liquid that I like to use. I am not at all necessarily endorsing this brand. I am not somebody who works for them, but I do enjoy this brand. It's clean medicine, which is a very, very huge part that I need to push. And then I particularly have a mod. You have other devices like Eco Style pens, which is just a long pen. It has a battery that's rechargeable, and then you twist on the top that you fill the e-liquid juice in. Um, and so this one's a little bit more complex, but my husband vapes, so I have the same thing as he does. There are also cartridge pens if you're not comfortable with the actual flower, which is the buds, the trees, whatever you want to call it. Um, if you're not comfortable with that smell and live in a legal state, you have access to these things. So this is a cartridge. It comes just like this. I have a few different kinds, but this is a disposable battery, also rechargeable. You twist in the battery part, and it goes into the USB little cube that you can put in the wall. And they also have, or what I like to use is hash. This is in a pretty nice package. Um, it's just kind of granulated. It can be in bricks. A lot of people around the world have access to hash. It's a higher dose than the actual flower. And then I also have keef. Nothing really exciting here. I think they gave me hash, honestly, because of the Texture, it's very similar to hash, so I think it really is hash. But kief is the trichomes that fall when you ground up the flower material. And because it's all the trichomes and little crystals and stuff like that, it has a very high amount of THC that is psychoactive. And yeah, there's also another very popular thing, if you know much about cannabis, is in concentrates is wax. So this is my little reusable container, but I have wax right here, and you just snip out a little piece, very tiny piece, and you heat up your dab rig, and you're good to go. So for me, this is what works. I like to microdose, so I'll do a little bit here, a little bit there, not too much throughout the day, and I'm never really high, but it lasts me a while that way, and I feel better. I feel like all my pain is usually muted, and if I'm really anxious, I feel like it helps calm my nerves at the time so that I don't feel so anxious and able to kind of like actually sit down and think things through and think about what really matters. Um, so yeah, it's helped me a lot in my life, especially recently since I've had these newer things come into my life that have kind of disturbed things. So yeah, I will end it on a positive note and show you my dab rig. This is my dab rig. This allows for the little water to come through, and this is the part you heat. And you wait till it gets red hot. Okay, so you let it get red hot. It's hard to see with all the lighting, but you let it get red hot. It's better if you do it in a kind of dim room or area. And once it's red hot for a moment, just a moment, you let it go, turn off the heat, and then you can take the temperature by just doing this. And if it's too hot, then it's too hot for your lungs, that's for sure. These can go up into the hundreds as far as heat wise. So you want to make sure it's red hot before you let it cool down fully enough for you to feel comfortable to dab it. So it's still too hot for me right now. I like to let it cool at least 30 seconds, and then just want to let you guys know, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. I will be happy to respond as soon as I can. And I am no doctor or cannabis expert, but I know some and I want to share. So I can help guide you to some websites I definitely trust. So thank you for enjoying. I'm going to end with this.